Good afternoon. I'm A. Allen. You're watching Streetwise live on CAN TV, channel 21. We're also streaming live on cantv.org/hotline. You can also join the conversation by calling 312-738-1600. You have heard of Streetwise, or you have heard of us. And if you don't know, let me show you this video.
Like you, I have a job.
I go to work.
Monday through Friday. Sometimes the weekend.
I commute 20 miles.
In rain,
Snow.
or shine.
like you, I have good days.
Sometimes I have bad days. But I know it's important to wake up and start a new one.
Like you, I try my hardest.
I have dignity.
Self-respect.
Heart. Like you, I want to succeed. To do better.
For my family.
For myself.
Yeah, for my dogs. Like you, I'm part of a community.
Where people believe in me.
Where people count on me.
Like you, I just want to better my life.
So I work hard. Every day.
Just like you.
Thank you all. For more information about Streetwise, you can check with us at www.streetwise.org or on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, even on YouTube. We have an exciting issue this week, and our cover story is about the Pedway. We have also here David Hamilton, our creative director, who will tell us more about the story on Pedway. Mr. Hamilton, our creative director, I'm so glad to have him because
Thanks for having me.
he really put together a good product for us to be able to go out and sell these magazines. And this week it's on the Pedway, and I'd like to ask you a few questions about this week issue.
Ask away.
Okay. Why are we doing an issue about the Pedway?
Well, we originally had the idea, it's wintertime, even though it doesn't feel like it today. It's wintertime in Chicago, and it's going to get colder and colder, or maybe it won't, but usually it gets colder. And so we were trying to think of ways to talk about new subjects that would help people avoid the cold and stay warm. And we were thinking about our Streetwise vendors and how it sometimes gets so cold, and maybe there's a place they could go. And of course we do have a Streetwise vendor selling in the Pedway. His name's Steve Guerin. He's right next to Macy's in the Pedway. So he kind of knows how to stay warm already. But that's really where the idea came from, was we knew about Steve, and we also were thinking about how do we talk about staying warm and share with Chicagoans new ways.
Yeah, and
to stay warm.
I was reading an article today, and there's a lot going on in the Pedway, that I've never really knew, and selling the paper this week, people ask me, say, is there a map of the Pedway in there? A lot of people don't know their way around the Pedway, so there is a map in the magazine.
There is a map. We had to include a map because whoever has tried to go in the Pedway before, have you done it?
Yeah, you got lost.
Yeah. I got lost. The first day we were doing research for this issue, I got lost. And then I went back a little bit later and I got lost again. We had to include a map. There wasn't a choice.
and it's a very good map. I mean, we can actually show you a little later on the map, but I recommend that you get the magazine so you can have your own map.
Should we show it?
Okay, yeah, show it, please.
Here, put it on the.
Yeah, how did you put it together?
So actually, I and the author, we did a little walking tour of the Pedway ourselves. We were like, well, I guess the best place to start is just to get into the Pedway and start wandering around and start figuring out where things are and what's happening and what's cool, what's special that we could talk about down in the Pedway. So that's how we got started. And yeah. That's basically it. That was your question, right?
Yes, the map of the Pedway is very good, and then you have also added a bonus to the map, which is the services that the Pedway offer.
Well, this is the buildings and such that the Pedway goes through.
Okay. Yeah, and you have.
So this map is actually from the city of Chicago for us, so that was nice.
Oh yeah, that's real nice. Yeah. How did you put this together? Can you tell me a little bit?
So like I said, we kind of went down. Down and just kind of started exploring, and then we just decided to kind of highlight the cooler things that we found while we were doing it. And so that's kind of how we assembled it to like kind of go. So the actual article kind of goes in a west to east direction, like going through the Pedway in that direction, right?
Okay.
So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're not starting as far west because there is a little bit of Pedway further west, but we started at City Hall and kind of went through, and that's like the most connected area of the Pedway. So a lot of people that are downtown really could get almost anywhere in the downtown area, especially in like the northern loop area. You can really kind of get everywhere without going outside, period.
And you know, when you say you started at City Hall, that's where I first discovered the Pedway. It's because down in the Pedway, they actually have court. They have court.
Yeah.
I see a lot of security officers down there, and they have like where you get your marriage license, your death certificates, your birth certificates. They have all that down. That's how I discovered it.
Yeah, that's actually where we started because we just like walked into City Hall and then we were like, okay, how do we get down to the Pedway? And then it was right there. There was like the certificates and all that stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, then they have the courts. What was the most interesting thing you saw?
Well, I mean, I think that the Pedway is. I mean, I don't think people use it enough. Because there was plenty of space. It wasn't busy. So I thought that was interesting. But I think that right now it's mostly used for like people just getting from point A to point B. Like you want to go to lunch on your break, and so you're going to go underground to it, you know? So I think that the most interesting part about it is that there's like a lot of like food courts.
Yeah.
That seems to be like the thing they use it for the most right now, like food courts, and like there's a lot of like Starbucks, a lot of coffee and stuff underneath the ground, which is kind of good to know because if you're like, you know, out and about downtown and you're like, I wonder if there's a Starbucks, there might be one underneath you.
Yeah, and then you know the good thing about the Pedway that I discovered is that you know Chicago can have some very ferocious weather.
Yeah.
You know, with the ice, the snow, the slush.
Or that rain yesterday.
Oh yeah, the rain. And so being out in elements, you can avoid that by going through the Pedway. And so that's why I really thank you all, you and Susan Haney, for putting together us a good product to sell. Because if you don't have this Pedway issue, find you a vendor where you can buy you a Pedway issue of Streetwise, because it's a very good issue. And Dave and Suzanne did a very good job on presenting the Pedway to the public, because a lot of people don't know about the Pedway.
Oh, I know. I knew about the Pedway, and I've used it a little bit in the past. But I also like to explore, and like so when I figured out it existed, I just wanted to go see it and explore or whatever. But when I was telling my friends about what I was working on when I was working on this, a couple of them were like, "What are you talking about?" They didn't even know.
They didn't.
And some of them were even like born here. I've lived here for 13 years. So it feels like my home, but I'm technically from somewhere else. But like some of my friends that were like born in Chicago didn't know that there was a Pedway.
And you know the Pedway, it's sort of like it's sort of like a little city underground.
Yeah. I think I first heard about it on PBS, one of the Jeffrey Bear specials.
Okay.
And they, I think it was 1998. There was a flood, and the Pedway started flooding.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that was like my first introduction. I was like, I'm gonna go see that now.
Yeah, the Pedway. I advise you to go out to all the people that don't know about the Pedway, never heard of the Pedway, or like to explore the Pedway. This is a good resource to have because there's so much going on in Chicago and under Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
go
like
ahead.
there used to be a stained glass museum on Navy Pier.
Okay.
And that is shuttered. It was about 3 or 4 years ago that shuttered, and they moved it all to the Pedway. So now you can look at all the stained glass in the Pedway. And there's also been like quite a resurgence of like art and beautification going on in the Pedway too. So like there's like a new mural of like Chance the Rapper, which is pretty cool. And yeah, a couple new murals, including one that had an image of Steve Guerin, our Streetwise vendor. Some students from the architecture school did a mural, and they included a portrait of him. So that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, we have it in the magazine.
We have it in the magazine.
Let's just show everybody.
Steve Garrett.
There he is.
In the Pedway selling Streetwise. And then, you know, another thing I noticed about the Pedway, they have 2 ways to transfer from the blue line to the red line.
Oh, right.
And one of the ways is you go through a tunnel on Jackson to get from the blue to the red line. And another way is the Pedway, you go on Washington. You get off on Washington and you transfer to the blue or the red line. And you get a chance to see that it's a theater, the AMC theater that serves dinner.
Yes. You go right through the Block 37.
Block 37.
Yeah. It's like being in a shopping mall when you get to that section of the Pedway. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like so many places to eat right there.
Right.
There's places to eat, there's places to shop.
And watch a
It's cool.
movie.
Yeah, and you can go straight to a movie, go straight to dinner.
Go straight to dinner. Go
Yeah.
to dinner and to the movie.
Yeah. Make a day of it at Block 37.
That's what you call Block 37. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a wonderful place to be. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And,
Sure.
and you too, if you're out there, you can have your own personal resource guide by contacting a vendor and get your Streetwise.
And you could even go, you could buy it from Steve.
Steve,
You
yeah,
go-
in
you-
the Pedway.
Yeah, if you're at Macy's on State Street and you go to their lowest level, down where the Franco Mints are and all the old Marshall Fields things are, you can go straight outside of Macy's and you'll see Steve in the Pedway. I'm sure of it.
So, yeah, Macy's is a big store, and everybody know about Macy's. So Macy's in the basement is actually connected to the Pedway.
Yeah, and then actually, a lot of people don't know this about Macy's too, but there's a huge food court. There's a Starbucks again. There's a bar and grill.
Okay.
And it's also where Macy's has moved all of their bedding, and there's a Macy's liquor store. It's like it's the craziest. The basement of Macy's is just crazy. It's kind of awesome. And then there's a walkway right outside the Pedway, and Steve Guerin is selling there. And then another really cool thing that I just forgot, and I want to mention, is that Macy's actually sponsors a fashion incubator, and their headquarters are in the Pedway, right across from Macy's, which is one of the coolest things we found, and we actually did some interviews for the story with the participants in the fashion incubator. But basically what it is you ever seen the show Project Runway?
Yes.
So it's kind of like Project Runway, but not a competition. So it's a bunch of fashion designers get together and like they kind of work together to create like the new looks, and like they work with each other to work on their own projects, and they have each other there as a sounding board. But you walk in and it's just like Project Runway. It's got work tables everywhere, and then like there's a room with sewing machines in it, and they all just kind of work together and make like new fashion, and it's all kind of sponsored by Macy's and some government grants to keep that creative fire going. And I thought that was really, really cool to see, and it was all in the basement of Chicago, really.
Wow.
Pedway.
See, that's some vital information.
Yeah.
So, if you missed Dave, or you didn't catch everything, or you didn't record this program, you can catch Dave in the magazine because he have it all recorded in the Streetwise
That's
magazine.
true. That is true.
And thank you so much, Dave, for putting together us a good product. And that's some good information. If you want to know more about the Pedway, get your Streetwise. Another subject that was in the Streetwise this issue was the Agency for the Homeless Memorial held at Old St. Patty's. Old St. Patty's Church. That's another subject that's in the Streetwise. And me myself, I went to one of the memorials for the homeless people. The homeless people, it was 46 homeless people who died in 2018. I went a couple of years ago because I had a friend that froze to death, and it's a good thing for people to, because these are like forgotten people, who remembers the homeless, or who thinks about the homeless dying. A lot of people don't care, but they do have a memorial for the homeless people, and they honor the homeless people at St. Patrick's around the 21st of December, which is the longest night of the year. And if you're homeless, which I have been homeless, the nights can be pretty long. But December the 21st is the longest night of the year, and St. Patrick's held their memorial service on the 18th at St. Patrick's Church. And
yeah, they did that with the Chicago Coalition for the Homeless,
yes,
and the Ignatian Spirituality Project, Franciscan Outreach, and Harmony, Hope, and Healing, as well as Old St. Pat's sponsored that event, so they all kind of organized it together.
That is so thoughtful, and that's so meaningful, and it's very thoughtful of Streetwise to be able to mention this in the paper, because who really thinks about the homeless people? And a lot of people are homeless, I mean, they may not have asked to be put in that circumstance or that situation, but nevertheless, unfortunately, some people die in that situation. I know it's not their plan to die in that situation, so, it's a sad thing all around the board, and to just forget about them is even sadder. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing to even mention in Streetwise, because, a lot of times we look at it as about the money. It's not all about the money all the time. It's about human beings. And that's what you mentioned in this article. It's all about human beings. We lost another human being, and so that's important. And I'm so glad you all mentioned that in this magazine once again. And this is held annually around December. It's held around Christmas time, and they have like a candlelight thing going on. I went, and it was very beautiful. They have singing, they have people speaking, speaking positive things about homeless people, which a lot of people don't have too much positive things to say. But it's a real good event in remembrance of the people that died. And so we thank you for that article. Okay, and then last but not least, we have another video. Last but not least, we have the Give a Shirt holiday party. The Give a Shirt holiday party. It was a success because I was there. I was there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't want to emphasize on me, but I don't want to say I was there. Put it this way. Santa Claus was there.
There you go.
There goes Santa Claus. Santa Claus was there, and they had a lot of events. I mean, you could give a shirt for Christmas. Give a Shirt is affiliated with Streetwise, and we was promoting Give a Shirt for Christmas.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Give a Shirt is actually an organization funded by the Daily Planet Productions, which is a very prominent local video production company, and they wanted to start doing something for the holidays to give back, and they chose to start Give a Shirt, which they ask 20 local designers to make unique designs, which are then put onto t-shirts and sold through these pop-up shops and also through their website at giveashirt.net. And they give us 100% of the proceeds for these events. Look, there's you again. There you are.
Yeah, there goes Santa
And there's
Claus
me.
again.
We're together.
Yeah, we right there.
But yeah, so
Enjoying
through these
ourselves.
events and the products that are sold through the Give a Shirt, it's become one of our major fundraisers, and it goes directly back to vendor services and allows us to support vendors on their day-to-day lives and being able to be the best they can be.
That's
so
right.
it's straight from the wonderful people at the Daily Planet to us. And and not to mention, it's like also really, really cool because you're getting like locally designed, hand-printed T-shirts, make great gifts for yourself. It's a really, really cool event.
And you can go online to find Give a Shirt.
Yep.
And also Streetwise.
Giveashirt.net.
Giveashirt.net. You heard that from Dave Hamilton himself. And also, Streetwise had its annual holiday party and coat distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really nice. Santa Claus was there too. Here go one of the Santa Clauses right here.
Yeah.
It was like 3 Santa Clauses there.
Yeah, there was a lot of Santa Clauses.
So we really had a time. We really had a good time. We ate good, and people got coats to be warm for the winter, you know, and other things, accessories, hats, scarves, gloves, you know. So
Yes, we collect coats and winter gear for months. So this is kind of the point where we get to give it all away and make sure everybody's warm and toasty for the beginning of the new year and the holiday season and all that good stuff. Yes.
that's just one of the extras that Streetwise offer to people that may be at a low ebb in their life. If you're at a low ebb in your life and you don't know what to do, you coming to the end of your rope, then I advise you to come down to Streetwise, you know, and get your wheels rolling. Let us get you started with orientation. We'll orientate you and teach you some sales technique, find you a good location, give you an ID badge, and start you out with 15 free papers to get your wheels rolling. So you can become a self-starter, and you can become self-employed, and you can start earning a living for yourself, a honest living. You know, if this is something you may be thinking about, our headquarters is 4554 North Broadway. You can look us up at what is it?
Streetwise.org.
Streetwise.org. And I think the number's at the bottom of the screen. That's our number, right?
Oh no, that's the number to call into the show. But the show's almost over. But you can call us at our offices at 773-334-6600.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from Dave Hamilton himself. Now, I think we can show you another video.
Excuse me. We're not gonna have enough time.
Like you, I have a job.
I go to work.
Monday through Friday. Sometimes the weekend.
I commute 20 miles. In rain, snow.
Or shine.
Like you, I have good days.
Sometimes I have bad days. But I know it's important to wake up and start a new one.
Like you, I try. My hardest.
I have dignity.
Self-respect.
Heart. Like you, I want to succeed. To do better.
For my family.
For myself.
Yeah, for my dogs. Like you, I'm part of a community.
Where people believe in me.
Where people count on me.
Like you, I just want to better my life.
So I work hard. Every day.
Just like you.